next year. Mine is not who I want to become. It's kind of who I want to remain to be.
True to yourself.
Yep.
And I want to be a wizard.
I want to be that person like, hey, are you from that one podcast? Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah. It's like when we talked about with the gala thing. And I
Yeah.
was meeting these people. They're speaking your name in rooms your feet have not yet tread. You know, like, I want that in the way of, this is something I find fulfillment in.
Yeah.
And it's probably because I do it with you.
Yeah.
And I want to continue that. And, you know, like having Dustin's belief and support in that.
Yeah.
You know, like he believes like that we can do stuff with this podcast and like we can go somewhere. And
we're trying to change some things around to help with that too, because Nicole fell behind this last month.
Yeah. She got
December is not a month for Nicole.
Nope. And so we're going to be changing some things next season.
Yeah.
But I guess who I want to become this next year is the kind of person that people do listen to and enjoy. And I know we have our small audience, but being able to like, I don't know, let people know so cheesy. Let people know they're not alone and that there are weirder people than them out there.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's okay to be weird. Come be weird with us.
Yeah, like, oh, you don't fit in.
There's our intro. It's okay to be weird. Come be weird with us.
Yes. Like, we're underdogs.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And
even if we don't ever get a real like large audience, I am down with always doing this.
It's just
even if it's just for our small audience who are like our friends, but we don't get to see or talk to as much, but they still listen to us. It makes my heart happy.
Started as a hobby has now become a journey to self-discovery.
Yeah, baby.
Dot, dot, dot.
Oh man, we have other things.
So I guess, is there anything else you wanted to say or talk about?
No, we're at a minute 20. Or hour 20, a minute 20.
Are we at an hour 20?
Hour 21.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dustin. Yeah, so I guess if we're not talking anything else, it's time to move on to our regularly scheduled portion of the podcast.
And bringing you your last Christmas song.
Song of the week?
Yeah. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. We all know I love this song, but this one is by Mike Tompkins. You can't find it on Pandora. I already tried to look for it so I could play it to Cena, but it is on Spotify, and it's pretty tight. Pretty tight.
My song, hold on, I still gotta scroll a bunch because I closed out. Oh, my bad. My song is, and I've been on a rap kick lately.
Okay.
So my song is You Should Have Known by Hopsin featuring Dax. These are all artists Andrew has shown me. They spit fire together. And as I discussed with the group, Andrew never listens, so I can confess this. I have the weirdest hots for Hopsin.
Yeah.
He wears these white contacts and he's like, he's like black.
Yes.
And then with the white contacts, I'm like, that does it for me, apparently. And they're good. And then Dax is a really good rapper. He has this song that's 20 minutes long.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a rap, but it's good. And the music video is really cool too.
I would not have the attention span.
I'll be honest. I only had the attention span because I was sitting there with Andrew and he was like, like when you're watching something with someone, so you're like, okay, I'm watching this with someone.
Yeah.
So, that being said, quick little Cena segment. Kind of been skipping those for a little bit. So, I wrote post-holiday stress. What now? Normally, I have to say, side note, my holiday depression this year has been more on the mild side.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously still cried, but you know, as we've talked about throughout this podcast, last Saturday, the 18th, I have successfully, I hope, run my first official D&D game, and like with the 5th edition. And we're going to talk about that at another point. However, ever since then, I've not had anything else going on in my head other than when my next like D&D adventure is. Like I want to write stories. I want to be a character. Like it's something I put my creative juice in, and I think it's because it's not as intimidating as writing a whole novel.
Yeah.
So, luckily enough for me, next week, my brother's going to run like a little family game.
Yeah.
And so I started making a character, guys, and I'm super excited. And so we're going to talk about her. So we said this name earlier, but my character's name is Moira Crowley. And the reason it's Moira Crowley is because she is a nomad.
Okay.
Like she's a druid, so she kind of wanders around. And this takes place in Middle Earth. Okay. Because that's like a comfortable world my parents are familiar with.
Yeah.
And I already emailed my brother my character backstory. And so it's after the War of the Ring, and supposedly all the elves had sailed to the Undying Lands, to the Valar. However, there were other races of elves that are far beyond the Dragonfires of the North, which is where my character's from.
Yeah.
And her real character name, and I can barely say it, which is why she has a traveler's name. So her real character name is Mayoralia Amastasia
Quaithe.
I don't remember. I have like the actual pronunciation typed up.
Yes.
And that's the reason why she goes by
Moira Crowley.
And so in D&D with druids, so this would be what Henry Oakes is.
Okay.
So I'm going to be able to like wild shape into different animals.
Yeah.
And any animal that I've seen before.
Okay,
So
like you had
traveler.
to have seen it. Okay, got it.
So she's been all over because she's looking for these lost elven druid cities because she's a scholar.
Yeah.
Now, I do have to say, I rolled terribly for her. So half of her stats are awful. And so I sent it to my D&D group.
Yeah.
And they were like, it looks like you rolled an introverted scholar with no social skills. I like have a -2 in my charisma.
Yeah.
And like a -1 in my strength. Like she a book nerd.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to play that. Obviously I'm going to have to work on my own name pronunciation there. But that's why I was like, Moira Crowley. It's good.
Yeah.
So I guess
that's that.
That's that. You've been listening to the Wife Wednesday podcast. I'm Arethe.
And I walk on doormats.
Bye. All right, wives. We are at Wife Wednesday Pod on Instagram and Facebook. And because Twitter can go fuck themselves, you can find us at Wife Wed Podcast. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and of course on our host, Spreaker. You can reach out to us on any platform or email us directly at info@wifewednesdaypod.com. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Remember, we post Song of the Week every week on Instagram stories, and it is saved in highlights. And for our book clubs, we have all the books to read listed on Goodreads, which can be found on our link tree located in our bio on all platforms, along with our Spotify Song of the Week playlist. We also like to thank our manager, Dustin, for dealing with us on a weekly basis.